Soon the strands spread to those who were not his relations, and after a great many years, every person in the tsardom had a heartstring hidden inside them. The power of these heartstrings was not altogether lost. Every so often, a child was born with the ability to see and wield the strand's magic. But forgotten was the Spider Queen's warning. Magic had power, but its use could bring pain and suffering. A long time later, suffering did ensue, and a dark shadow would fall over this valley. Though this shadow fell after his lifetime, it was a curse that almost destroyed the young man's beloved home. So I ask you, little ones, the young man got his wish, but was it worth the price?
1. Years of traveling with a notorious swindler had taught Olga an important lesson. People who are trusting are the easiest to trick. So she ignored the obvious lies being spun by her deceitful guardian as she jabbed her needle into the sewing in her lap.
"My illustrious lady!" shouted Mr. Bulgakov at a passing woman. "Don't be shy. Your beauty needs no decoration, but our fine jewelry will complement the sparkle of your eyes."
Mr. Bulgakov gave his usual speeches to the visitors of the market, but so far no one had been drawn in. Other merchants were beginning to disassemble their stalls, and very few stragglers meandered past, those who did only half listening to Mr. Bulgakov's entreaties.
"Jewelry, fine fabric, delicate trinkets, and music boxes. We have sold to tsars and kings and sultans. Oh, so exquisite are our wares."
Behind the wagon, Olga stayed hidden. She wasn't good at interacting with customers. She yanked the thread, groaning as she made yet another messy stitch that her magic could not quite hide. There was a rustle of fabric, and Mr. Bulgakov peeked around the tent to glare at her.
"This is your fault. They can see through your magic. They know that the merchandise is shoddy."
His cheeks were red beneath his beard from the heat of the day. Dust from the road flecked the brim of his cap. Olga bit back the temptation to tell him that he could lie a little less extravagantly, but that was a criticism he would not receive well. And his critique of her magic was accurate. Her crudely knotted heartstring around the tin necklaces and threadbare fabrics could fool only 1 person in 10. Most people could discern that something wasn't right, even if they couldn't tell that magic was involved.
"Psst, Olga, what do you think?"
She turned to find Pavel admiring himself in a mirror at the stall next to theirs, sporting an embroidered tunic and outrageous hat. The tunic looked well made, and the fabric hung elegantly on Pavel's hulking form, but "The hat's too small for your big head," she hissed.
"You're right,"
Pavel whispered, swapping out the first hat for another, this time with a ridiculous feather. "That's a lady's hat," she said, trying to focus on her own stitching.
"I still think it suits me,"
said Pavel. He turned back to the mirror and stroked the feather on this new hat, flicking his bushy red eyebrows up and down and wrinkling his nose. He was nearly 18, a good 5 years older than Olga, but sometimes he acted like a younger brother. Her stomach rumbled. She would need to learn how to prepare better illusions if she wanted to avoid going hungry so often. The meager stash of coins from their last sale was already running low. Mr. Bulgakov claimed that one day their trickery would yield a sum so grand